Welcome back. This is Cageymoon here on Cagey's Beyond. I'm glad you've joined us tonight. And I say tonight because it is evening time. We're out here at the tower base, and I'm working on a little bits and pieces of the rail track coming over here, little by little, and several other projects. But today we are just going to go and get us. Well, it's kind of one of those projects that it's not going to be super fun, but it's just kind of necessary. And we're going to do probably the next few episodes. Probably this episode and at least one more. There's just going to be a lot of getting some infrastructure together. Oops, I forgot a piece. Getting some infrastructure together that we need to continue building, because kind of hit a bump in the road where we were flying through things and then just kind of hit our brakes because we hit a couple snags. So we'll get that fixed and have a good time today. So one project I want to do requires me to have my tower to its top height that I want, and we both know, or all know, that I ran out of birch, so I can't do my tower building type taller than the height I want it built. So in order to fix that problem, we make a tree farm and let run for a while. That requires this indoor farming station. Indoor farming station, which requires electrical steel. We have diamond hoe, not a problem. Machine chassis, we know how to make. Well, zinc crystals, we know how to make. But this, we don't have that. But we can make this simple machine called the Splice and Slice. Throw some of this solarium and a head in there with tools in it, and it'll give us that. So we're going to do that, get the tree farm built, and get one set up. We'll be back. Oh, Slice and Spice is made like this. Again, we have everything required. So I'll get on this and get that set up, and once I've got it set up, I'll explain how it works. Just kind of give you an update of what we've been doing. So this is the area I've cleared out for here. We basically kept this inside a chunk up on this hilltop. Show you where we're at. Here's my home base here. We're just out of render distance, I hope. That's my plan, and it's in the middle of this wood, so we're going to have a diverging line coming over here to pick up our wood and bring it back eventually. I think that's what we're going to do. Now, the two woods I needed was birch and dark oak. You can kind of see them all mixing around in there. Now, I haven't filled this completely in because I want fertilized dirt. It makes it go a little faster. Now, let me show you these things. These are quantum storage units. Let's go ahead and get this. Here's how you make it. Okay, it's a little pricey. I mean, come on, 9 diamonds, enderize. It's a lot pricey, but nearly unlimited capacity. I didn't realize they keep their inventory. That's new. So I love the way it renders now. It used to be just a block, about that color, maybe a little white or something. And you can click this thing to make that render above it. But I like this a lot better. So what we've done is I've got for the saplings here, because we made this farm up there, if you remember us making that, this farming station. Now, farming station, you can put different kinds of fertilizer in it. That's what this block here is. To speed it up, you notice it's ran a little bit. I didn't have any of the conduits pulling or anything or that set up yet. And just kind of a few things. We've got our blaze rod power coming into the bottom of this. I put an octadic capacitor. Now, every level of capacitor you put in this thing extends its radius. I mean, it's a pretty huge, going to be a pretty huge radius. I'm a little concerned we may have to clip some lead, take this tree here out too. But matter of fact, let's go ahead and maybe I don't want to do that. I like the looks of that tree. Well, I can't fly today. We'll see. I like the looks of that tree right there. I don't really want to have to take it out, but I'm sorry if I'm making you dizzy. They use durability and power on the tools. You can put a hoe in, just again, depending what you're having it do. I made a paper a hatchet with a paper rod, a paper cross on top, and then the hatchet blade of cobalt. And I wonder if I'd done that paper, that would have worked better for me. But anyway, um, and then I put a couple of these upgrades, these reinforced upgrades on it. Each one gives them 20% durability. So I've used it a little bit, so we've actually put 3 of these. So it's got about 60 or 80% durability. I need it to level up, I think, 2 more times to get it, and it'll actually, once you got 5 of those upgrades on it, it will be completely unbreaking, and we won't have to worry about it anymore. So we'll definitely have to come and maintenance this a little bit in the early days of it running. So what we've got, we've set up, because it needs you can lock these to 4 different quadrants, and what you want it to plant, and you can hit this little button and lock it in place, and it'll keep those slots full. It didn't used to do that. Again, the last I think in 1.17 they finally fixed that. But it'll keep these full, and throw everything else into this output. Okay. But so what I'm going to do is, we're going to have a conduit going up there, pulling and pushing into it. So what we're going to do is, one of the reasons Ender IO is so powerful, we've set this for push-pull. Okay, insert green with a priority of 2. Okay, that means it'll try to fill this. Anything that's a priority of 2 will try to get filled before anything of a lesser value. And I've got it on the green channel. Now I've got it extracting on the brown channel. Okay, so it's inserting on green, extracting on brown. That way, if it runs out, it can reload itself out of these. So we've done that for these 2 saplings, and these are insert only on green priority 1, green priority 1, and these we set green priority 2, green priority 2, because they can only accept one particular item, so it makes it pretty easy. I do have filters I could have put on it, but I didn't need it, I don't believe. So I think we've got it all set up, so we're going to go ahead. I'll show you how it's done. We'll put one more conduit there, and one more there. Now we'll click on go ahead and set it to extract, okay, and insert on brown. So go ahead and set that high, and then in and out. So it will do that. It's smart enough to know what it's doing. It should have, see, it's pulling everything out. I probably need to put some speed upgrades into this conduit for sure. Probably going to break our action pretty quick. Well, maybe not. I just repaired it. So let's go ahead and turn it on and see. I need to see it. That's climbing. My magnet's on, so I'll turn my magnet off. How about that? All right. I didn't get these. I bet it comes back. That's interesting. Okay. XP 700. Oh, wow. So it's already almost ready to level up again. Oh, they're good. Good. That's going to be good. So it'll keep running. Let's get out of its way. Poof. Gone. Pretty fast machine. Does suck down a lot of power. 800. How much is it using? Yeah, see. Once it hits 1,000, I want to pull it out and do that again. So we've got kind of the basics out. I want to make some fertilized dirt, which is chicken manure and dirt, and put in place across here so it works faster. And eventually I will run a rail line up here and have an automated loading and unloading system. And then some kind of a chunk, either FTB chunk loading or something like that. But let's see. 910, almost there. This stuff's pretty fast. Alright, we'll be back in a little bit. So here's what I ended up with. I made several changes and played around a little bit. discovered there's the biomes of plenty trees will not grow in this fertilized dirt. Um, so that was a problem. Secondly, the biomes of plenty trees, a lot of them, like I was trying to get the fir growing, they can't be planted. They would not grow side by side, even with fertilizer. Now, in here, it's not the axe we were using. I discovered a good way to be leveling up our axes. And so I'm doing that. I'm creating a couple extras for other purposes, playing around with them a little bit. And what I'm doing is you can actually see ours. We've leveled it up a little bit by throwing it in there. I've created a really pretty good see, it's almost level 1600. That's a brand new axe. It's still got 2 modifiers on it. I started off with paper, everything but axe head, and then put the, yeah, I can't think what it's called. Durability, the unbreakable upgrades on it. Swapped out this for a copper handle, and then let it run in the machine, break a couple times, and then yeah, got to where it needed to be. So that's going to be what's going to end up permanently in there. But for now, I have this in our round channel pulling in, and the broken one gets spit out. It pulls that one in, and what I'm going to do is when I walk away, I'm going to activate this. So when this whatever axe is in there breaks, it'll pull in a stone axe instead. And I know 21's probably going to get ate up pretty quick, but hey, it'll take care of things. So I've got several. I started getting this sticky resin from Industrial Craft. You do that by putting in tree taps. So I made a whole bunch of throw in here, and that's giving us the resin to start getting ahead on Industrial Craft. Because I forgot it wouldn't harvest the rubber because it wants to get it, or rubber wood, it wants to get that. I've thrown a bunch of birch in our system, and that's what we still got left. I've thrown a ton of dark oak in, and that's what we've got left. And it really hasn't been running more than a few hours, maybe if that. Starting to get some fir wood now that I switched that up. I had it running for 30 minutes, so it came back in almost an hour. Came back in nothing, and that's what it was. We're going to get some of this going later, and yeah, okay. So yeah, that's what we've got, and that's kind of where things are. I think we're going to just there we go. Not use any more than we need to here. I'm going to grab some bone meal from our chicken farm, throw it in there. So yeah, that's where things are, and pretty happy with it for now. So we should be able to add our addition. So here we are. We are flying at the top of our tower. We finally got it finished. I got all my supplies from the tree farm. And what do you think? It's pretty basic, I know, and don't worry, there's more to come. Don't forget, this is just the central spire. But I needed to get to this point because we needed to get up here to the top to get it finished and to get done what we wanted to do. And I'm liking it. Now I got to figure out a design for this, all 4 side towers of what they're going to look. If I want them to be uniform or exactly what I want to do with it. But before we do anything else with that, let me show you what we did with our tree farm here. Alright, so here we are. This is the finished product. I told you we were flipping everything out and around like that. I did realize that these go better if you do them 4x4. And this is working a lot faster like that now. And so, matter of fact, there's an axe that's broke. So let me check the time out, and we'll see if we got time to do at the top of the base what I'm wanting to do. One of the things I've done is just switched my quarry over to a purple lens and emptied out everything in there. And I am just trying to get all my draconium placed. Uh-oh. We just found a bug. Let's check it again. Well, folks, we just found a bug. Let me come back and figure out how much I had. Alright, well, apparently this builder's wand is duping items, so I'll have to maybe go on the mods author's place and mention that. But this, if I kind of did my math, this is kind of what we come up to be in this high. So let's see how much draconium we can get. And it's slow. I forgot how slow. Definitely need to upgrade this thing, but this will help. Eventually. What I found is with looting 3, so far it seems to give me about the minimum 4, which I think is what you get normally, to as much as 8. And there's all we can hold. Just gonna keep going. I have a project in mind, but I need a lot of this stuff, a crazy amount. So one of the things I've been working towards and wanting to do with this series. All right, let's see how much we got. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 6, 7, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 36 stacks. Do I have my scientific calculator with me? I do. All right. 64. 2,300 draconium. That's wow. But that quarry's been running a while, and that's what we've got. So we'll come back when I've got everything ready for that project. Before we go today, we're just kind of observing the scenery, looking out about. Dusk is coming upon us. Yoshi's base is out that way. We're at the tree farm. Got some of my tracks laid out, and where we're going to send trains up to and from here is probably going to be through those the ticketing system and routing switches. But I've done some decorating. You can see some pieces of wood getting left up there from the harvesting, but chisels and bits all this, so this is completely unspawnable. If you look at it, it's just these little like pieces here. Kind of did some details. I just realized I forgot 3 pieces there and there, so I'll have to come back and do that. Sculpted the sides of it a little bit with some chiseled things. I've got eucalyptus running and fir running. We've added some things. Basically, what it's doing right now is I'll put like the axe I'm trying to level up in here. It's in here. It's almost broken, and when it gets broke, it pulls in one of the unbreaking ones I've made, and I can just walk by and grab it, and whenever it's ready, and it doesn't stop production. So that's pretty much the finished, detailed, and everything on our tree farm here. I don't think it looks too bad. Haven't really. Some of the biomes with plenty woods do not like to be automated. At least anyway, I figured out. I need to do something different, like the palm saplings. They just keep, I'll find a couple laying around, but they're not hardly getting harvested. So like, it's been running just as long as the eucalyptus wood, and it's actually been running since last night. And I'm 24 hours later, and that's all we got. And which is sad, because like anything else, I'd have like, that's just in a few hours. So I don't know what's going on with that, but anyway, that's what it is. We're going to kind of work on a little bit of another processing system. You look in here. I'm going to try to make automate the process to make this. If I can find it. Oh, zombie, go away. There, this. Okay. Oh, I forgot energetic confuser, so we'll do that as well. But we're gonna try to automate slag, and boy, any other time. Anyway, we're gonna try to automate air. There's what I'm after. The sawdust will pulverize it. Niter will pulverize sand. I'll produce cobblestone and break it down into sand. I'm just going to take some iron and like grind it down and reform it and grind it down and and run it through an induction furnace over and over and over again to get the slag. So we'll try to make a completely free system just using wood from this farm, and try to make all this stuff here and throw that into our sap producers and see if that makes enough of a change that we want to leave it running or not to our production. But with that being said, I think that's it for the day. I'm glad you're here. Glad you're with us. I'll let you know how that turned out. Thanks for joining me. Cageymoon out.